graced this planet, wrote, "Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts." Julie and Max, we are celebrating your beautiful connection today. May your relationship always be inspired by the wonders of nature, and may it too endure for the rest of your lives. And it's not just these gorgeous surroundings that provide a wondrous backdrop for these proceedings today. Julie and Max, take a moment to look behind you at the many loving, friendly faces in the garden. Not only are they at your back, they have your backs. Know that all of us here offer love, support, and encouragement as you begin on this incredible adventure together. How lucky we all are to be here. When Julie and Max asked me if I would do this officiating about a year ago, I immediately said yes. That was before the panic set in. Well, that first yes, that first impulse came straight from a mama's heart. I mean, what mother wouldn't want some undivided attention to give some final words of wisdom and advice, one last talking to? So then, when the panic did invariably set in, I turned to the trusty internet, where I got ordained as a minister from the Universal Life Church, by the way. So the state of Oregon does recognize me as official. Yes, back to the trusty internet. So I turned to the internet because I wondered if there were any protocols or past experiences of others, or tips or hints or strategies about a parent officiating their adult child's wedding. So I Googled mothers marrying their daughters. Yeah, that was a big oops. I found some very disturbing articles about mothers who actually got married to their daughters. But then when I did find the sites that discussed mothers officiating their daughters' weddings, the news was scary. I found conversations that warned, don't do it. It'll be too weird. It'll create too much drama. Well, most of you who know Max and Julie well know that they're not afraid of the unusual or the weird. And drama in its proper dose can be quite entertaining and fun. So yes, we have a mama officiating the wedding, and we have a little bit of drama in our wedding party. Max's best man is his best woman, his sister Bria. And guess what? The rumors are true. There will be llamas at the reception later on. But first, you will need to bear with me, the mama llama who promises to avoid too much drama. So in thinking about what wise words to say or advice to give, Julie and Max, as you begin this next chapter of your lives, I soon realized that you two are primed to do the hard work it takes to make a marriage work. You are like the llamas. Okay, so llamas are pack animals. They love to serve. They're known for their tenacity and endurance and adaptability. They reach their goals one hoof at a time, and they don't back down from anything they set their minds on. Now, have I just described these two? Yeah. You two have doggedly, well, now I'm going to say llamadly, you two have llamadly pursued challenging, service-oriented careers. You've persevered and adapted and lived self-sufficiently for years in several different parts of the country. You are what parents say with a huge sigh of relief. They say, oh, successfully launched. But even more important, whenever I see you two interact, you are real with each other. You're kind and thoughtful and empathic. When you laugh together, it bubbles up and comes straight from your heart. And when you have problems, you slowly and surely work them out. You love and you like each other. I see you two as soulmates, the kind of soulmates that Elizabeth Gilbert writes about when she describes a true soulmate is a mirror. The person who shows you everything that is holding you back. The person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. So I'm thinking, what more can be said? Go forth, you llama people. Enjoy your happily ever afters. But that's what's in my head. And yet in my heart, there's some other things I need to share with you today about love. And I need to do it because I am a mother. And I'm going to do it as if you two weren't both successfully launched, but as if you were children again. So that means I'm going to read you a story. And since Max, I know you're a voracious reader, and Julie, I remember when you used to beg for one more story before bedtime. And since it is your wedding day after all, I'm going to read 2 stories. And one story is about a mom with a little boy, and one story is about a mom with a little girl. And I'll read the one about the little boy first, and it's called Loving Hands, and it's written by Toni Johnston. Loving Hands. A child is born one winter day. His mother calls him Lamb. She hums a tune that has no words and holds her baby's hand. The baby wakes, the baby sleeps, and grows. One day he stands. He falters like a wobbly colt. His mother holds his hands. The baby sleeps, the baby wakes. He claps again. For hot cross buns, he pat cakes just like a baker's man. He likes to climb upstairs, but bears await in Shadowland. His mother says, "We're brave as bears." They climb up hand in hand. The child becomes a little boy. He jumps and skips and runs. And when he stumbles, when he falls, his mother bathes his hands. They plant a yellow sunflower row far taller than a man. They pick tomatoes round and red, the bounty of the land. The kitchen's where they make their bread. The warm dough swells in pans. They bake a brown and lovely loaf, then taste some glazed with jam. The land's asleep. They tiptoe forth beneath the moon, old friend. They give new names to falling stars, bright swan and gillisand. The boy is going off to school. He asks, "Will I have friends?" "Of course you will," his mother says. They walk there holding hands. He learns the letters of his name. He writes them big and grand. He crosses streets now on his own, no longer holding hands. When it is snowing, they go out. They carry seeds in cans. Soon winter birds all flutter down to feast right from their hands. The boy is grown. He leaves and waves. "I'll visit when I can." His mother says a prayer for him and whispers, "Farewell, lamb." The mother's hair turns white as salt. Her memories slip like sand, except for one, dearest of all, the memory of her lamb. The boy, a grown man, goes his way. He sees her now and then, and one day he comes home and stays, sweet home where he began. They sit together, side by side, and watch the summer end. He hums a tune that has no words and holds his mother's hand. And this is the story about the mom with the little girl, and it's called Someday, and it's written by Allison McGee and Peter Reynolds. Someday. One day I counted your fingers and kissed each one. One day the first snowflakes fell, and I held you up and watched them melt on your baby skin. One day we crossed the street, and you held my hand tight. Then you were my baby, and now you are my child. Sometimes when you sleep, I watch you dream, and I dream too, that someday you will dive into the cold, clear water of a lake. Someday you will walk into a deep wood. Someday your eyes will be filled with a joy so deep that they shine. Someday you will run so fast and so far, your heart will feel like fire. Someday you will swing high, so high, higher than you ever dared to swing. Someday you will hear something so sad that you will fold up with sorrow. Someday you will call a song to the wind, and the wind will carry your song away. This is the hard page. Someday I will stand on this porch and watch your arms waving to me until I no longer see you. Someday you will look at this house and wonder how something that feels so big can look so small. Someday you will feel a small weight against your strong back. And someday I will watch you brushing your child's hair. And someday, a long time from now, your own hair will glow silver in the sun. And when that day comes, love, you will remember me. Now, I promised I wasn't going to do too much drama. What happened to that? Okay, so these two books, by the way, will be at the reception. They're what Julie and Max are using as their guest books. So pick your favorite page and please put your favorite memory or name on them. And these two stories focus on a mother's love for her child, but the messages of the books can really apply to anyone who has supported, taught, encouraged, delighted in you. Many are here today. Some are here in spirit. All of us love that you have found each other. Our love, our hearts have been in our hands as we've held yours, Julie and Max. Now you will hold hands. Your hearts are in each other's hands. Max and Julie have chosen to incorporate the ancient ritual of hand fasting or hand fastening, a literal tying of the knot. They wanted it to be part of the ceremony today because of what they hold dear and value. Max, you are a journalist. Your hands create words that reach out to the world with an excellent number of clicks. Your writing speaks the truth, and it educates and it inspires. Your hands make a difference. Julie, you're a physician. Your hands make a difference. Your hands help diagnose and comfort and heal. Max and Julie, your hands together, all I can say is wow. That's a wow. So this hand fastening ceremony declares your intent to marry. So I ask you to take your right hands and your left hands, and the answers to this will be I will. Max, will you share in Julie's laughter and look for the brightness and the positive in her?
I will.
Julie, will you share in Max's laughter and look for the brightness and positive in him?
I will.
Max, will you share in Julie's dreams?
I will.
Julie, will you share in Max's dreams?
I will.
Julie, will you honor Max as an equal in this union?
I will.
Max, will you honor Julie as an equal in this union?
I will.
You hold your hearts in each other's hands, Max and Julie. May they have the strength to hang on during the storms of stress and fear. May they remain tender and gentle as they nurture each other. Because these are the hands of your best friend, young, strong, full of life. These are the hands that will build your future. These are the hands that will give you love and strength when you need it. And these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged, will still be reaching for yours. All right. So now it is time to hear Max and Julie's vows.
Okay. So 6 years ago, I remember getting an email from Teach for America and scrolling frantically for your name. You see, I had already stalked you a little on Facebook. I watched a video of you and Brennan about how you were the greatest of all time at Jeopardy, and I read about you on the University of Oregon website. So when I got that email in Catherine's car on the way to Teach for America, I remember feeling butterflies in my chest that you were at my orientation table, table 11. So our relationship started as friends, waiting to eat breakfast in the cafeteria before Institute, playing chess on my iPad, taking the subway to Manhattan, sneaking into libraries to read late at night, and finding the tallest buildings for the best view of New York City. You were my best friend pretty quickly, but I also knew I loved you from the beginning. I remember the moment you felt the same. Your exact words were, "I think I sort of like you." And in that moment, my chest felt like something had slammed against it. I felt like I plugged into something so profound, so familiar. I've always been so impressed with you, the way you deeply love your sister, your mama, your job. The hours you spend writing newspaper articles revealing injustices, the way you curl up on the couch and can read for hours. Before I met you, my days were so planned out. I ran on a motor, checking off boxes, completing tasks, crossing things off my planner. You've taught me to slow down, to ponder, to appreciate the world around me that I had been missing. Max, I have to spend the rest of my life with you. I can't promise that it'll be easy deep down. I sort of hope it's hard. I hope that we fight, I hope that we cry, I hope that we argue, because with fighting comes understanding, with crying comes laughter, with arguments comes acceptance. Early in our friendship, in fact the first night I met you, you sent me a letter by John Steinbeck, and he wrote to his son about love. In the very last line of the letter he writes, "Nothing good gets away." And I mean that with all my heart. Nothing good gets away, and you'll never get away from me. Hey, the writer.
We did not coordinate the ending of our vows.
I've never heard his.
We did not coordinate this. Jules, I love you. Because that winter and the before, when we were apart, the pieces of my heart fell into place. Because your name is synonymous with care, compassion, confidence, creativity, intellect. Because you break down walls in your patience and your profession. Because your parents are smart and tender and good, and you are their reflection. Because even in sleep, your arm finds me, your affection not bound by consciousness. Because you're keeping your last name. It's true. Because your smile runs over me like water, and your laughter soothes like rain. Because my dream of ditching this country and moving abroad developed a plot twist. A pair of one-way tickets instead of one. Because you couldn't tell a journalistic kicker from a kiss. Because writing is a solitary, broody thing, yet you reserve that rare smile for me anyway. Because you embrace my family like an old friend. Because you cry after your parents visit. Because you catch my tears when I miss my own. because you make me think about something other than myself. I believe Steinbeck when he wrote "Nothing good gets away," because I still have you.
So now Max and Julie will exchange rings. So, a ring's circular shape has no beginning and no end, representing a boundless loving connection. The rings can be worn proudly as a symbol of the commitment between you two. So are you ready, Julie? Then repeat after me. With this ring, I, Julie,
With this ring, I, Julie,
commit my love to you, Max,
commit my love to you, Max,
for all time,
for all time,
giving you all that I am
giving you all that I am
and all that I will be.
and all that I will be.
Please accept it
Please accept it
as a symbol of my love.
as a symbol of my love. Nice. Commentary.
Are you ready, Max? Then repeat after me. With this ring, I, Max,
With this ring, I, Max,
commit my love to you, Julie,
commit my love to you, Julie,
for all time,
for all time,
giving you all that I am
giving you all that I am
and all that I will be.
and all that I will be.
Please accept it
Please accept it
as a symbol of my love.
as a symbol of my love. Nice.
To conclude this wedding ceremony, Max and Julie have decided to create a piece of art. A creation that began when your guests entered this garden. Before everyone took their seats, guests pinched a little sand and placed it in this glass jar. We even brought some sand from St. Louis to provide part of the foundation. So this foundation of sand represents the memories and experiences and love provided by family and friends. Now, Julie and Max, your separate life paths that you were taking before you are represented by each of your sand jars. I ask that each of you take turns and pour a portion of your colored sand into this central vase. So today you have committed to share the rest of your lives together. Now you can pour the remaining portions of your sand simultaneously into the central vase. This blending of sand symbolizes your loving union because these individual grains of sand will now be impossible to separate. You have made something beautiful today. John Keats wrote, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." May your love bring you joy forever. And now, family and friends, by the power vested in me by the Universal Life Church in the state of Oregon, I now pronounce Max and Julie, Julie and Max, husband and wife, wife and husband. Let's
start this adventure with a kiss.
Oh,